Thank you very much for the nice invitation and the nice introduction. So the first slide that I will use is to present the research team that I'm directed at the University of Strasbourg. So in my team, we are basically studying patients with different rare genetic disease. And from this patient, we try to solve a patient with no diagnosis by using different models, the yeast model system, human cells, and knockout or knocking mouse model. So the city of Strasbourg is there, so it's at the border between Germany, Switzerland, and France. And here you have the city of Strasbourg during the Christmas time. That is something that is really important for the city, with a lot of lights, and also the cathedral that is over there, that people are really proud of. So today I will present some actions that we are doing in France and in the city of Strasbourg to promote gender equality in research. So first, outreach activities. So I started all the activities towards society more by outreach activities. So meaning that I will go to schools, to a general audience, to present what we are doing in the laboratory, but really in an easy way so that everybody can understand. And this started with the AFM Téléthon. So AFM Téléthon is a patient association in France, and they fund scientific research via public donation. So what they started, outreach activity that is 1,000 researchers going to school, and this 1,000 researchers go to school to present really laboratories results directly connected to patient care and patient disease. And usually we do that 1 month before Christmas. Why? Because this is a period that is really the main fundraising period. And as you can see, all the labs are involved. So we have different students going from master to postdoc students that go to school and to present what we are doing in the lab. The second outreach activity that is really important is the science fair, so Fête de la Science. And since 2022, I created and organized a new science village in the city where I am living in France. And in this science fair, we have two different aspects. One, workshops, and also conferences. So how is it organized? So you have different workshops that are organized in the school gym to present research to families. So then you have families, parents that come with their kids, and this science village is open during the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, to be sure to attract the whole family. And this is really important because then it not only it attracts young people towards science, but also you have then the audience of the parents, and the parents are there, and you can explain how is it important to have research and university education. And this is really important because we know that a lot of students choose their orientation also with parent advices. So convincing the parents, it's also a very important aspect. And the later aspect is in the evening, we have scientific conferences. And last year, we were lucky enough to have Professor Jean-Marie Lehn doing a conference. And the conference of Professor Jean-Marie Lehn the chair was Professor Jean-Pierre Sauvage, so 2 Nobel Prize in chemistry at the University of Strasbourg. And for these scientific conferences, we invite really the politicians. Why? Because then by inviting these politicians, then they can be advocate when the government want to cut funds for research. The last outreach activities that we are doing is Open Lab. So then and this, I give you 2 examples. The biology year and the year of the 200 years of Louis Pasteur anniversary. And for this, then we opened the lab and we organized basic yeast practical courses. And it was mainly for primary school teachers. And again, these school teachers are mainly women. During the COVID period, I was also involved in with university and with some other researchers to fight against all the fake news that circulated at that time. And for this, we organized a live Facebook during the confinement, and we invited 5 virologists from the French Virology Society to ask and to answer all the questions that people are asking during the confinement. Okay, so what is gender equality in research and why is it important? So equality means that it doesn't matter who you are, what size you have, you all have the same chances, so you have all the same size over there. Equity, if you're smaller or if you're taller, then you do not have the same height here. And the Mathieu effect is compensatory for the Matilda effect, and it's a thing that we see a lot in science, meaning that it's work done by many different people, and mainly the males are cited in this work. And so equity in research, it really depends. For example, in biology, we have a lot of women that are present in the biology field, so equality will be enough. If you have some field with very few women, then the few women that you have, you need to help them to raise so that you can attract more women. Then equity will be more efficient in that case. For me, I'm more concerned in equality because I'm working in the field of biology where we already have many women that are present. So all the gender equality in research and all this started for me in 2016 when I was nominated by the CNRS to AcademiaNet. So AcademiaNet is a portal that is raised by Europe to have more visibility, to give more visibility to women academics. So what is the CNRS? The CNRS is the French National Center for Scientific Research, and it's in France the largest research organization, and it's directly linked to the Ministry of Higher Education and Research. And at the CNRS, you have many fields of science going from humanities to mathematics, chemistry, physics, and so on. So what is AcademiaNet? So AcademiaNet is a database where you can find profiles of different female researchers from different disciplines. And all the researchers are nominated by different organizations according to strict selection criteria. And this database, the aim is, in fact, when you are seeking committee members or some expert, then you can go directly to the database and you will find different female experts in the topic you're interested in. Why, in fact, all this started? Because in Europe, we also have a serious problem with underrepresentation of female researchers in the top position, with only about 26% of professorships in Europe that are held by women. And so AcademiaNet during this last year has grown really, and now you have profile for more than 4,000 women researchers all across Europe. After this first stage, in 2019, I joined the association Femmes et Sciences, so Women in Sciences. It's a national French association, and the aim of this association is to promote science and technology among women, but also to promote women in science and technology. So I will present different actions that we are doing with this association. And among one topic is education. So inspire young girls to get into science. How can you do that? So the most efficient way to do that, we realize, is via gaming. Because gaming, this is really easy. You can really get a lot of information, but in an easy way. So one of the games that we are using a lot in the schools is the Mendeleeva game. Here you see the game. So the game was created by members of the association during the COVID confinement. And so you have this wood boxes, and you have the representation of the Mendeleev periodic table of elements. And in the different boxes, what you will find cards, and you play this game by. Here, in fact, we are playing the game at the science fair. So you throw these, and then you will have some numbering. Based on the numbering, for example, if you have the number 14, then I will go to the Mendeleeva game, bring the wood box with the number 14, and as you can see, the number 14 corresponds to this silicium element. And in the box, you will find cards. And with these cards, you have only scientific women that are working with these elements or studying these elements. And also, you have things for the everyday that you can find where you find the elements. And then the purpose is to collect cards from different topics in science, chemistry, physics, mathematics, biology, humanities, by throwing more these and collecting more of these boxes. And this is really efficient because then the kids, not only then they have the cards in their hand, but they can also touch all these little elements, see what they are useful, and so they learn a lot of things, not only in chemistry, but for every day, for the whole science. And the game was really a huge success. So we applied to fundraising from the French government for outreach activities, and we got funded. And so now we could have an online game. So it's the same principle to discover women in sciences, and you can play the game online. With Women in Sciences, we're doing also some other activities to inspire young girls to get into science. And one of these activities, the name is Research is at Your Doorstep. So how is it working? So you have 3 female researchers from various disciplines. So this is really important, that you do not have only 3 biologists, but that you have one researcher working in mathematics, humanities, law, and some different disciplines, and various age, also really important, that you have a senior researcher, but also young students, a master, PhD student. And in fact, these 3 female researchers, they will go and visit the schools and talk about science to promote it among young girls from the 7th to the 10th grade. So how is it organized? When you part of the team, so you apply for one specific date depending on your schedule. And if you're part of the team, what we ask you is to bring material that will represent your research. And then, in fact, the young girls, they will play with this material, and you can explain easily what you are doing by using this material. The aim also is to have really a friendly and informal meeting, so to make it really easy to interact. And of course, before the team is going to schools, we send the list of the people that will go to the teacher, and with a short CV, so 3 sentences max, just to explain what they are doing, so the teacher can work before the visit with the classroom, and they prepare some question with their teacher, and then you discuss and you answer to their questions. Another really important step is to encourage high school girls to attend university. Because we see in biology, we do not have a problem to attract women. We have many women, many female students in the courses. But in mathematics, in physics, we have a huge drop, and we're losing more and more girls with the years. And so this is a big issue now in France and in Europe. And one way, in fact, to try to counteract this low representation of girls in mathematics and physics is that, in fact, we go to high school and to present women researchers, and this to encourage the female high school student to consider university studies. And we realize that the timeline and the frame for these actions are really important. And so 1 month before the high school girls make their academic orientation choices, we go to visit these schools, to present our background, to answer the student question, and to show what you can do and how is it powerful to go to the university and to choose these courses. So what do we present to the high school girls? So we present how do we build a new knowledge, how research is working at the university, the place of women in science, and also how to balance work and family life. Because many of these students, one of the big questions that they have is, okay, I'm going to the university and I will be there for years, and it will be really time consuming. Will I have time to raise a family? How can I balance work and family? And this is a question that is really important, especially in the young generation. And asking this question, discussing with them about this point, really, usually you can see that you can really easily manage and that you can do many things all together. And it's far less complicated as what you only imagine. Okay, so now I talked about these two different steps, and in 2021, I was nominated by the CNRS as a Gender Diversity and Equality Advisor. And this started from the CNRS all across Strasbourg and all across the Alsatian area. Because in fact, at the CNRS, now they have a national plan with 4 strategic priorities. And this is really to promote gender equality in research. So the national plan from the CNRS was to assessment and prevention of any salary discrepancies, equal access for men and women to equal position function at identical level of experience and skills, promoting equal management of professional and personal life, and of course prohibiting any discrimination and any kind of violence or harassment. And so with this national plan, they nominated different equality advisors for different research institutes. So we are really lucky in Strasbourg because the network is really active, and so we have different roles. One of the roles is to participate to meeting and training actions. The other one is to contribute to the development of the regional equality plan. And of course we will work not alone, but really in close partnership with universities and some other national research agencies in France. And another really important aspect is to organize events to promote gender equality in research. And among these different actions, one that is really efficient is the Global Women Breakfast. And usually, in fact, you have a period for this that is end of February, beginning of March, and this is really worldwide organized. So you can subscribe your university directly on their website, and then you get visibility because they do all the communication for you. And it's really nice because it allows networking among women, but really in an easy-going way, because everybody comes to the breakfast. You bring some stuff that you cook at home, and then we share and we discuss and we exchange in an informal way. And this is really efficient because it allows to meet with scientists with different ages and also from different disciplines. Also, as an equality advisor for a research institute, then we have different roles in the research institute. The main role is to be the local contact. So if someone witnesses some gender bias or has some trouble, then they can come directly and they know where you are because you are in the same institute. They can talk easily to you and it's less formal. And this is really efficient because we realized that most of the cases, in fact, people didn't realize that it was hurting for the female researcher or for the female student. And so they didn't mean wrong, but at the end, in fact, the atmosphere at the work is really, really bad. And so if you can directly answer all of these issues right at the beginning, this is really, really efficient. And one of the way also to inform is really to make different gender bias and gender violence, everything that you can see in labs. So now, in fact, we have presentation, and when we have new people that join the institute, we do a brief presentation just to explain how it's working and what you can do and what you cannot do. And for all these different actions, in 2024, in May, the CNRS was awarded with a European Gender Equality Prize in the advanced category. So, of course, not everything is perfect, as I will show you now, because in 2022, in our institute, we had an evaluation. And in France, we have a HCRS. It's an independent evaluation authority. And usually they come every 5 years in all research institutes, in all the universities. And so you have a committee and you present what you are doing, what is your work, and then they give you advices, and also they give a recommendation to improve quality of higher education and research in France. And in 2022, we had the committee, and when we got the names of the committee, 7 members, 7 men, not a single woman. And we are working in biology. So, of course, this was really, really annoying and really disappointing. So I was discussing this among the different gender equality advisors in the Strasbourg area. And what we realized is that this is not an isolated case for our institute, but it was the same thing for the institute next door that is working on RNA biology. So they had 6 members, 6 men, not a single woman. And another institute that is working in cellular and molecular pharmacology, also in Strasbourg, 7 members, 7 men, not a single woman. Then, of course, we wrote to the altogether, we wrote an email, and we said that this, in 2022, you cannot accept this type of composition. And in fact, the answer that we got is that it's not mandatory to have parity, and it's not mandatory. So they choose the expert, and they choose qualified experts, so why do we complain? So of course you see that even when you try to do your best, you can still have this type of things that happen, and the only thing that you can do is complaining and fight. And then, of course, when we had the evaluation committee that came, I prepared one slide, and I showed this slide and that one. It's the 2 slides, the 2 first slides that I had in my presentation, just to show. Of course, you cannot complain, but at least these are numbers. And in fact, numbers, either in fact they are real or not, but there, in fact, you really see that there is a problem. And then, in fact, we got apologies, and they said that, yeah, this should not happen anymore, and then for the next year, they will really take care to have more equity. Also, in 2022, I'm a member of the mentoring program. And what is the mentoring program? It's a program that started in France, in Toulouse and Montpellier, so in the south of France, with these two researchers, May Maurice and Julie Battu, and they wrote about this mentoring program, a publication in Nature Biotechnology. And why doing mentoring for female PhD students is important? Because mentoring was associated with a greater career progression and also with helping the students to reach their full potential. And also, in fact, you find many publications and many testimonies with scientific leaders really attributing their success to their support by a mentor. And in 2022, the mentoring program started at the University of Strasbourg, and the program is led by Véronique Piron-Bonnes. She's a physician working at the University of Strasbourg and at the CNRS. So what is the benefits for female PhD students of attending this program? Different studies show that mentoring is really important for scientific careers, especially for women. And also another important point is that women with mentors, they publish more frequently and they receive more funding. So this is not only important for the female PhD that attend this program, but also for all the laboratories and for their future career. So how are we proceeding? Of course, the most important part for the mentoring is the pairing between the mentor and the mentee. So between the young PhD student and the experienced researcher. And this pairing, they really have to match. Because if you do not have the match, then all the purpose of the mentoring program is nonsense. So how do we do this matching? So we organize speed meetings in two different days, and to really encourage affinity-based matching. So each mentee, so each PhD students will meet and talk with 10 different mentors. Either you have formal talks on this chair, but you can also have informal talks because we provide different beverage and snacks so that you can really have a maximum of interactions. Then after this, the different PhD students, they select a list, so they send the list to the organizing committee with 5 names, and they do a ranking list, their favorite, the second one, etc. And then we do the pairing by using a computer-based pairing association. One really important step is that the mentor and the mentee, they must not belong to the same laboratory and also the same institute if it's possible. This to avoid any interaction that could be deleterious for their PhD thesis. Because the aim is not to have a second PhD director, it's really to discuss about their career. So the mentoring program usually covers a 1-year period, and these are the different things that the PhD student attend. So monthly they have a 1-to-1 meeting with their mentor. Then also we have a thematic discussion circles, as you can see here. Then we have all the mentees that are together, and we offer different topics. And most of the topics is really to improve their career, to improve their self-confidence. Then they also have talks by women scientists that share their career path and choices, and also training workshops, like for example, preparing for job interviews. If you want to pursue a postdoc abroad, what are different options and different advices. And the last thing that I will present today as the different actions for promoting gender equality in research is since 2022, I was appointed as a reviewer for the L'Oréal UNESCO program, and this is a program for women in sciences. So what is the L'Oréal UNESCO program? It's a national and regional program to support young talents to pursue a scientific career. So how is it working? For the France program, up to date, we had more than 400 grants that were awarded to young doctoral or postdoctoral female students. And the students are selected based on the excellence of their academic level, originality of their scientific project, and their desire to pass also passion to younger generations, so outreach activities. What is really nice, it's a fellowship that goes directly to the student. And with this fellowship, either you can go abroad, you can buy a computer, you can also use the money for childcare. So it's really open, and we fully trust the students that are awarded, and we give them money, and then they do not have to justify. They really are free to use the money for their career. Of course, in fact, with all this action, you think that things should improve. And things are improving, but improving really in a slow way. And in fact, when you see this UNESCO report on science towards 2030 that was published in 2015, what they can see from this analysis is that it's still clear that you still have inequalities, and the glass ceiling is still persistent in academic research. And in fact, 26% of senior academic positions in science are held by women worldwide, and only 4% of women have been awarded with Nobel Prizes in science. So there is still a lot of work to do. And to finish about this L'Oréal program, what is important to know is that the program really runs around the world. And there is also a Japan-specific national program. And I really encourage all the young researchers to apply to this program, because usually the program is not well known among students, and we got not so many applications, and we could get far more applications. And so I really encourage all the Japanese students to really apply to this program. And the last slide is acknowledgement. So all the research that we are doing in the lab is funded by different agencies. And thanks to GSPS invitational fellowship, I can be here today. And this is thanks to Professor Takeaki Ozawa that kindly invited me. And he was visiting a professor at the University of Strasbourg last year. And we had a chance to have a lunch together with Professor Jean-Pierre Sauvage, a Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And on our way back to the lab, we crossed with Professor Jean-Marie Lehn, another Nobel Prize. And so we could chat, and it was really, really nice. So thank you for listening.